What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and some new interesting bits of information coming out, including perhaps some impending cry rooms for Twitter staff, on top of new layoffs and former Twitter staff whining that they weren't paid enough in their severance package. Now, maybe they are owed more contractually, and it'd be, to me, it seems odd that you would pay less than what you said you would pay, but especially given being Elon and the press. But it's been an interesting little mini wave of news. Twitter employee laid off after Elon Musk takeover received severance payments today that fall short of expectations. Well, we don't want that. I mean, we don't want people to not get paid for doing nothing even more. Following further delays this week, some Twitter employees finally received their official severance agreements on Saturday after months of anticipation, according to multiple sources. By the way, for the past several months, they've been getting paid in full to not show up for work. However, the compensation is much less than what they may have many expected, and the emails are landing in spam folders. After Elon Musk assumed control of the social media giant in late October, about 3/4 of the company's staff of 7,500 were let go on a series of cuts. Musk tweeted that those affected would receive 3 months severance compensation. Previous Twitter leadership pledged to offer at least 2 worth of severance, as well as prorated performance business, extended visa support, money for healthcare continuation, which is usually like Cobra, and the cash value of equity that would vest within 3 months. However, the agreement sent out today provide laid-off employees in the United States with 1 month of base pay as severance. Those that go in November have been kept on the payroll and have been paid their regular salaries for the previous 60 days. So I want to be clear. These people have already received 2 months full pay. 2 months of pay and have not had to show up for work. Paid in full for the last 2 months. Then they get a severance for a additional 30 days. So that would be 90 days severance. Now, due to requirements of the Federal Warrant Act, which mandates companies to give a 60-day notice before mass layoffs, although those workers have been barred from the company's internal system since November, they were formally let go January 4th in accordance with the law. What's more, employees will not be receiving their prorated performance bonuses. According to Twitter's severance material viewed by Fortune, some employees received Cobra, which is money for healthcare continuation, a source said. Cobra is not money, Cobra is the program, and it's very expensive. I mean, I expected him to F us. He did. An impacted employee wrote to Fortune, "This is about 1/3 of what he contractually owes us based on the purchase agreement." I always love when I bet this person spends a lot of time on Reddit. Although employees were given 2 months' pay during non-working period to comply with the Federal Warrant Act, a lawyer for 2 class action lawsuits against Twitter claimed that such money could not be included in the actual severance paid to employees. That's ridiculous. Of course it would be. Not all impacted employees received their agreements. Multiple sources told Fortune the agreements are being sent out via a third-party provider called the CPT Group in lieu of in-house HR services. It's not yet clear as to why some have received their agreements. Well, they sent out these emails that, of course, went to spam folders. Of course. The website has, an FAQ page stating that the impacted employees can anticipate payment within 45 days of their signed agreement. A downloadable and additional FAQs documents confirms that employees will not be receiving performance-based payouts or their bonuses, which were set to be paid out in March, and there will be no negotiation of the agreement or the severance amount listed. Ice cold. Now, many of these people, by the way, were people that willingly walked off the job, right? Remember, they all posted those TikTok videos about how stunning and brave they were to be self-selecting to not work there anymore. Well, on top of that, Twitter makes more cuts to online safety teams. Twitter has made more cuts to its trust and safety team in charge of international content moderation, as well as a unit overseeing hate speech and harassment. Well, good. I mean, I don't really understand why this good. With Musk at the helm, Twitter has suffered a public relations crisis featuring firings, resignations, tumbling revenues. You don't know anything. How do they know anything about their revenue? Reluctant advertisers and lawsuits over unpaid bills. The latest round of cuts affected a dozen people at Twitter's Dublin and Singapore offices who requested anonymity. Among them were Ana Luisa Dominguez, Twitter's senior director of revenue policy, and Noor Azhar bin Ayub, recently hired head of site integrity. Employees in charge of Twitter's misinformation policy, global appeals, and state media were also fired. Twitter's head of trust and safety, Ella Irwin, confirmed to Bloomberg that several members of the team were removed while denying the cuts targeted other areas. It made more sense to consolidate teams under one leader instead of two, for example, Irwin told Bloomberg by email after Twitter removed roles in areas in the company that did not have enough, quote, volume to warrant the support. Well, speaking of Ella Irwin, meet Ella Irwin. Cigars and cry rooms. New Elon Musk's new cutthroat Twitter VP. No, I will not pay you money, Daily Beast. Do good work and then we'll talk. Before Elon Musk made her one of his most powerful lieutenants at Twitter, Ella Irwin spent 4 years at Amazon, where her intensity inspired both respect and terror. The pressure was ceaseless. Her emails landed in at all hours. She made me cry my first week, a former employee told the Daily Beast. Imagine crying over work. One space in the office became known as the cry room. It wasn't all on Irwin. Under Jeff Bezos, Amazon's culture was notoriously brutal, but her personality seemed like an ideal fit. I had not had a director as smart or as cutthroat as Ella, recalled another employee. Sounds like an awesome boss, to be honest with you. Seems like you'd learn a lot. These bosses are intense to work for. I've had at least one in my lifetime. But if you can buckle down and survive it, it's like getting 10 years experience in 1 year. That's what it's like working around these people usually. You know, they don't have time for BS. They're going to, they're not going to worry if they hurt your feelings. Things are going to happen. Things are going to be tough. Things are going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to learn and you're going to become more marketable because you took that job, because you survived that. Now, after a stint at the tech firm Twilio, Irwin has brought that ethos to Twitter, where Elon is employing even harsher tactics to turn the performance around. Sleeping at the office is tacitly encouraged. Also consider bringing your own TP. As head of trust and safety, Irwin's responsibilities include mitigating harmful content like hate speech, weighing in on account bans and suspensions, and sometimes serving as a platform's de facto spokesperson. She helms the product, policy, and operations team, tasked with keeping users safe from fraud and abuse, and also helps resolve user issues. Adding to the challenge, Musk has decimated Twitter's headcount, including content moderation and human rights experts, and eliminated its advisory trust and safety council. Don't need any of that stuff. Why would you need any of that? By the way, if you're watching this video and you haven't yet made this far, please do click that red subscribe button down below. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Definitely trying to push for 2 million subscribers here in 2023. And I won't be able to do it if each and every one of you who aren't currently subscribed don't eventually think I've earned it. So I hope that I earn your subscription today. It makes it, YouTube, it's just nice to, I know a lot of people just check my channel or whatever, but it kind of lets YouTube know, hey, people want to see my videos. And it seems like when people subscribe, the more people subscribe, the more people get to see my videos. Some of Irwin's former subordinates described her as acutely hierarchical and therefore unlikely to push back against Musk. Already, however, she and her boss have fallen out of lockstep, though perhaps as a result of dysfunctional communication rather than principled disagreement. 2 days before Christmas, after Reuters published a story that the disappearance of the hashtag #ThereIsHelp prevention feature, we're going to talk about that, whatever. So you have a situation now where Musk is bringing in like some real ball busters. And I'm assuming the people that are there now at Twitter will probably be fine with it. One former coworker at both tech companies who credited Irwin with taking them under her wing and boosting their career in tech, just like I said it would, described her as an endearingly as a bit of a pit bull who has jumped into organizations that have a challenge to present. When she comes into places, especially at Amazon, I think there was a big kind of disruption. The person said because she was identifying areas of weakness across the company org in a way that eventually put her in a position to overseeing those areas. As a result, the ex-colleague added, roles were taken away from other employees. But at the end of the day, it's a meritocracy. The person continued, I think from an executive perspective, she was viewed very much as a problem solver. Sounds like an awesome employee. I look forward to the installment of cry rooms at Twitter. I suspect there won't be many employees that will need them, but I look forward to following this. And it sounds like Elon's got a really good employee here that's going to help whip this thing into shape. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. We'll talk to you again real soon.